Geekdom. This is Chipmunk doing another reaction. Today we're reacting to a video from Animan's channel. Check out Animan in the descriptions below. Excellent channels to check out. A lot of different top 10s and top picks when it comes to anime. This time we are reacting to these 10 dark anime will mentally break you. Usually those would be psychological, crazy animes. Usually. There's some like crazy action and violent animes that probably would break the hell out of you as well. But we'll definitely see what picks that Animan has chosen for this video. So let's go ahead and dive in. This is about 15 minutes long, so it'll be very lengthy.
But if you're a rom-com fan, you might want to look away, because today's list is all about the top 10 darkest anime that will absolutely wreck your mind. So buckle up, it's about to get a little intense. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
To start off, we have Midori. There are dark anime.
Oh, that's one of the ones that I have on my list to watch.
And then
I have not watched
whatever the hell this is. On one side, you've got your typical dark anime, and on the other,
this has been on like lists and stuff before.
A film so deeply disturbing it feels like it was never meant to be watched by actual human beings.
I was like, I really want to see it.
It feels dishonest. It's not just dark, it's a plunge into filth, despair, and psychological decay. Animated with the fury of someone who's seen too much and decided to drag you into their nightmare. The story follows Midori, a young girl orphaned and sold into a traveling freak show. But don't expect any twisted carnival fun here. What follows is a relentless barrage of cruelty and suffering that makes even the grimmest horror anime look tame. And honestly, if I tried to describe some of the things that happens here in detail, YouTube might just delete the video. There's no comfort, no catharsis, no redemption, just a slow, agonizing descent into hopelessness. Unlike shows like Elfenlied or Another, which wrap their gore in style and atmosphere, Midori rips off the mask and shoves your face into the horror.
Gosh.
It's raw, it's grotesque, and it will stay with you long after the credits roll. So watch this if you're only mentally prepared to do so. And really prepared.
And
at number 9 we have Pet. Pet doesn't play by normal rules, it unravels minds. Literally. There is a show where memories are manipulated like clay, and the people who do it are usually broken tools of a larger system. The horror in Pet isn't about demons or ghosts, it's about losing control of your own reality. About forgetting who you are because someone else decided it was convenient. The show is dense, abstract, and unapologetically cruel. And that's exactly what makes it so disturbing. Every character is broken. Not in the dramatic, noble way anime sometimes romanticizes, but in the hollow-eyed, trauma-laced way that makes you wonder if they were ever whole to begin with. The show plays with the concept of emotional weight. Literally. This is an anime that doesn't just explore darkness. It carves it into the characters' minds and leaves them, and the audience, bleeding. It's bleak, cerebral, and merciless. So give it a try and you might enjoy it.
It looks pretty cool.
The opening of the show was just absolutely phenomenal.
Next
at number 8, we have The Empire of Corpses. Now, the zombie genre has got to be one of the least explored genres. Because to be honest, name one zombie anime apart from Zom 100, and don't you freaking dare say High School of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
Because no one watched it for the zombies. We all know those eyes were somewhere else.
Me, buddy.
Alright, anyways, The Empire of Corpses.
It's just the other stuff was a plus.
Not for horror.
Other stuff was a plus. The zombies,
war, and progress. That premise alone should tell you how bleak this alternate history anime is. Set in a 19th century steampunk world, this film imagines a future shaped by Victor Frankenstein's technology, where corpses are wired back to life, stripped of soul and identity, and repurposed as tools. And who's the mastermind behind this? Sung Jin-woo? The film dives into what it means to be human by exploring what happens when humanity is erased. And that is where the darkness comes from. Not in the zombies' gruesome appearances, but in the way society accepts their use without question. Soldiers, servants, laborers, all lifeless, all silent. The world has normalized dehumanization, and the few who resist it are portrayed as mad, dangerous, or obsolete. This is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood without hope, but it isn't about zombies. It's about the death of dignity. So watch it if you're in the mood to watch something messed up. After that, at number 7, we have Gleipnir.
I definitely.
Gleipnir is
There's a lot of
the
animes I've
body
heard
horror of Parasite, the moral collapse of
This
Future
is in
Diary,
2020?
and the not-so-family-friendly tension of Devilman Crybaby. Then mash them into something even less when this anime doesn't tiptoe into the darkness. It cannonballs into it.
I've seen this.
At its core, it's about a high school student who can transform into a gruesome monster.
I don't remember the name being like that.
A girl who literally climbs inside him to fight. And as weird and inappropriate as it sounds, it's just the starting point. Everything about Gleipnir feels corrupted.
I thought it was called something else.
The powers are unnatural, and every relationship is steeped in manipulation, desperation, or just pure violence. The characters aren't trying to become heroes, they're trying to survive long enough to understand what the hell is happening. And in the process, they lose whatever innocence they had left.
It wasn't like crazy, like mentally it wasn't crazy. I don't think
morality as something negotiable. The show never lets
I might be just
you
off
messed up
myself,
these
but
dynamics.
that wasn't
And
bad.
it thrives on that tension. Gleipnir doesn't want you to feel safe, it wants you to feel complicit. It's an anime that stares into the abyss of teenage trauma, dehumanizations, and identity loss, and then hands you the camera. And if you're in the mood to traumatize yourself, well, maybe give this one a watch. And at number 6, we have My Home Hero. Now, a disclaimer is needed here, because apart from being violent, this anime explores some pretty sensitive stuff. So, My Home Hero proves that the scariest monsters don't need claws or superpowers.
Nope.
They just need a reason. And a father trying to protect his daughter is one of the most dangerous forces anime has ever put to screen. The premise is simple. A regular middle-aged man discovers his daughter is involved with a violent criminal, and he takes matters into his own hands. What follows is a tense, methodical descent into the
This is in 2023. I definitely gotta check this out.
He's willing to burn everything
I haven't
for
seen
his
this.
child. Unlike most anime that explore crime or violence, this show doesn't glamorize anything. There's no thrill, just constant paranoia. It taps into the same unease that made Monster unforgettable. The idea that once you cross a line, no matter how good your reason is, there is no going back.
So much I gotta look at,
takes
man.
only digs
I don't feel like I have
and you're
enough time.
forced to watch him scramble to cover his tracks while his sanity frays. And it's the most traumatizing thing this anime puts on you. The emotional toll, the anxiety is suffocating. Every interaction with the gang, every suspicious glance from the police, every lie told to his wife, each moment is a reminder that his life is one thread away from unraveling. It's the psychological pressure of Erased, but without the time travel escape hatch. There's no magic fix, just consequences. My Home Hero is a domestic tragedy dressed as a crime thriller, and it's devastating in its quiet rage. After that, at number 5, we have Rin, Daughters of Mimosine. God, I hope I didn't butcher that. But this isn't just dark or action anime sense.
I think I have
to its core. This anime takes the concept of immortality and turns it into a slow-burning, centuries-long nightmare.
I haven't watched it in a good while.
Cannot
but
die.
I have.
The world makes sure she regrets that fact in every.
That's why I was like
way.
crazy.
This
like
episode
all
is
this anime, just watching it constantly.
and steeped in themes
Man,
of
when I was younger, I could watch
identity
anime like crazy.
and the consequences of eternal
This
life.
is one of those that
And
I
as
was like,
said
I did
before,
like a
this
lot.
isn't just dark in the action anime sense, it's disturbing in its psychological implications. Every episode features the main character being tortured, unalived, mutilated, regenerated, over and over and over. And the violence is not glossed over either. It's intimate, explicit, and treated as something both casual and horrifying. But the real weight of the anime isn't in the gore, it's in how the main character endures. Centuries pass, the world changes, but the trauma lingers. Her immortality isn't freedom. It's a prison made of her own memories. Mimosine doesn't glorify suffering, it catalogs it. Cold, methodical, and relentless. It's not trying to thrill you or excite you. It's trying to leave a scar. And if you watch it, you might just get one.
I didn't.
And here at number 4, we have Blue Literature Series. This show is darkness distilled into 6 classic Japanese stories, adapted into a deeply uncomfortable but beautifully animated anthology. Each arc plunges into the mind of a protagonist breaking under the weight of depression, addiction, isolation, or self-hatred. There are no monsters here, only people. And that's what makes it terrifying. It doesn't exaggerate, it reflects painfully. The animation style shifts
I don't
to
know.
match
When it comes to
each
animes
story's
and stuff,
tone.
it's
Sometimes
hard for me to
sketchy
get scared by a
and
lot of
surreal,
the
other
animes.
times clean and almost sterile. But the emotional
Especially in the
context
way that they do
never
the series.
lightens. It's hard
I
to
find
watch,
that a lot of
not because of
animes
horror
that are
shock
supposed to be
value,
in the
but
horror
because
category
it
are not really
presents mental
scary.
illness,
They
despair,
just have like a lot of
and
shocking
emotional
content.
breakdowns without apology or cushion. There's no resolution, no redemption arc, just the raw truth that not everyone survives their own mind. In a way, Blue Literature Series is the literary cousin of Welcome to the NHK, but stripped of humor. Each story reminds you how fragile people really are, and how
I like Welcome to
terrifying
the
it is when they
NHK.
shatter quietly.
That's
This anime
another
doesn't
anime
just
that
portray darkness, it screams
Bro.
it in a monologue, with a deadpan voice while the world burns softly in the background. So be sure that you're ready to watch this one, and be prepared that your mind might be messed up for the next couple months. And here at number 3, we have Shadow's House. Now there's something profoundly disturbing about the lightness used as a weapon, and Shadow's House is soaked in it. At first glance, it presents itself like a gothic fairy tale, a mysterious manor, living dolls, faceless nobles cloaked in shadows, but this anime wastes no time making it clear. Nothing here is innocent. Every smile is rehearsed, every gesture is monitored, and every rule hides a deeper, crueler truth. What makes Shadow's House so disturbing is how calm it all is. It is the kind of psychological horror that doesn't need blood to be terrifying, just silence, secrecy, and absolute control. The dolls, who are actually human children, are told they exist to serve their shadow masters. But the deeper the series goes, the more it reveals that this is less about service and more about erasure. These kids are groomed to surrender their very selves in the name of perfection. The system isn't chaotic, it's efficient. Oppression is organized. Rebellion is suicidal. And worst of all, many of the characters don't even realize they're imprisoned. That's a rare kind of darkness. Something that the Promised Neverland did really well. And we're not going to talk about season 2, so let's not go there.
Let's not talk about season 2.
This show is horror in its most elegant, calculated.
I gotta see this.
A psychological cage lined with velvet. Then in the second spot, we have ID Invaded. So, imagine Psychopaths if the mental health warnings were more than just flavor text. ID Invaded is a murder mystery on acid, where the detectives are as broken as the killers they chase. The show weaponizes the mind as a crime scene, and what's inside is never safe or stable. The protagonist is a disgraced detective who can only enter these dream world crime scenes because he's a murderer himself. Every time he dives into an ID well, he loses his identity, becoming a fragment of who he once was. The horror builds not just from the crimes, but from the erosion of self. He's not solving mysteries, he's falling apart with every answer. What makes ID Invaded dark isn't just the murders or the mental decay. It's the system's cold detachment. The agency sends broken people into broken minds, knowing it will break them further. And it does. Again and again. But at the top spot of today's list, we have
Heavenly Delusion.
This is the Promised Neverland on steroids. It's darker, grittier, and doesn't have a crappy season 2. This is what happens when you tear away the illusion of safety and expose the rot beneath. On the surface, it's a sci-fi mystery. Kids race in a pristine facility, the outside world crawling with monstrous beings, but as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that this isn't just another post-apocalyptic
I have not
it's
finished this. Like I could make it past
trauma,
like the first few episodes.
And survival. The darkness here is layered. There's the literal horror of human-like monsters hunting the remnants of civilization. But the real terror lies in the systems of control and lies that shaped the characters' pasts.
But it's like I don't know what out of it just.
There's a creeping dread that
I couldn't just get drawn into it as heavily as I wish I could.
Within its surface, identities blur. Memories don't match.
Because I just kept on stopping.
What they seem. The
When I was
lines between
watching,
human and weapon,
I just kept
savior
on
and monster,
stopping.
protector, and
And I was
manipulator.
like, it just never drawn me to want to like
But the
finish it
heaviest thing
out.
was its emotional
But I
weight.
do
The
have to finish
abuse
it
and
out.
the cost of keeping secrets. It pushes boundaries, not for provocation, but to ask what happens to innocence when the world dies and the truth is poison. Heavenly Delusion doesn't just show a ruined world. It makes you feel the sickness in its bones. It's not about hope. It's about what you become when hope is gone.
Heavenly Delusion and I forgot the name of it. The other one with the bear mascot looking thing. Those are the only ones I know of. Which is like I started Heavenly Delusion. I just did not. It's just hard. It was just hard for me to connect to the characters, to where it's like I wanted to keep watching it. Cause I just kept on, I just watched something else I really do care about more. And then, yeah, I just never really got back into it. It is gory. It's like a lot of shocking scenes. But I think that's just, like I was saying before, when it comes to anime and horror, everything seems more shocking than it does scary, if that makes sense. It's a lot of more shock factors for me than it was like stuff that I'm genuinely scared of when it comes to a lot of like anime horror. But yeah, it's not saying that they are bad the way they are or the shocking stuff is horrible. It's just I would like to be scared a lot more in in these genres when it comes to horror. But psychological stuff doesn't have to be horror. It can just be that, just And I'm not saying every single one isn't scary. I have seen some that are scary, but majority of the ones that I've looked at, to me, is not. It's not scary. Um, but are enjoyable. There's a lot of enjoyable psychological and crazy, ridiculous, mind-boggling anime. There's a lot of good ones. So I will check all these out and see what's happening with these. If I can get into them, hopefully I can. Hopefully they can get me in the first few episodes. Cause once I'm in the first and second episode, if I'm not hooked, I'm not. It's hard for me to stay on if I'm not hooked. I gotta be hooked in the first few episodes. So yeah, that's the only sad thing. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. If you like this video, please like the video. If you like to subscribe, see some more of my reactions and other type of videos, please do. Thank you all so much for jumping on and giving me a try. I really do appreciate it. Please do take care of yourselves and others. Peace, geekdom.